inbound companies, Sue, do they need to be concerned about Wayfair and the result of that decision?
Yeah, George, I think that there's going to be potentially increased scrutiny of inbound retailers in particular, or inbound sellers that sell taxable products in the U.S. We have been analyzing this in the context of the Foreign Commerce Clause. But if you read the Japan Lines case, which is a state tax related case, it was an ad valorem tax. But if you read Japan Lines, what Japan Lines says is you first do a complete auto check, which is what basically the Wayfair decision says, is we're no longer going to have Quill or Bellis Hess to rely on, so we must look at complete auto. And beyond complete auto, Japan Lines says that you have to do a couple of additional analyses to determine whether or not the Foreign Commerce Clause would be violated. The first additional test from complete auto is whether or not the tax that is being imposed could result in double taxation, so potentially tax in the foreign country on the export as well as sales tax in the U.S. And the second test would be whether or not the tax prevents the U.S. from speaking with one voice. And when you consider that, when you look at the trade wars that are going on now and the talk about the competitive disadvantages for American businesses, it's hard to understand why the U.S. would object to a state requiring an inbound company to collect taxes. So it's something that I think inbound companies need to be concerned about.
Yes, agreed.
And if we look at some of the other impacted businesses, some of the very obvious ones, tax software providers, I think we heard that some of the tax software providers' stock went way up the day that Wayfair came down, which really isn't surprising because they do stand to gain from this decision, as well as the certified service providers under streamlined sales tax. Impacted maybe not necessarily positively would be the marketplace facilitators, because states may end up adding more laws to tax, or more states may end up adding laws to tax marketplace facilitators, because it's much easier to go after the marketplace provider and have them collect tax on behalf of all of these small sellers. And then the state only has to process the one return for everyone.